Let's do it.
Leave it up to a Dodge boy.
You heard the man. Leave it up to them Dodge boys. Thompson, Ohio, Kuhnle Motorsports Park, 13 miles south of Lake Erie, 4th of July weekend. BNJ Racing showed up with 12 other Nostalgia Pro Stock cars to celebrate the 4th of July and put on a show for the folks up in Ohio. This was going to be hopefully a good event for us. Ended up being a learning event. If you remember from our last videos, we've been suffering from some suspension anomalies that we've been unable to trace down. We did find a couple of things that were wrong. Upper wheelie bars were bending, so they've been replaced with bigger, better, stronger, stiffer, straighter bars. And we also added 2 bars to the lower wheelie bar assembly. It needed another X, so I added 2 more bars to it. So we're showing up with the wheelie bars set pretty much by the book. They were not responding to our changes prior because they were bending, as we found out. And hopefully they will allow us to tune the car some. So we've set them back and we're going to be starting from ground zero. So first pass will be a test pass to see where we stand. Hopefully we can tune the car to go down the track A to B. So let's see what happens. Well, not exactly what we wanted. Again, launch went immediate left, almost out of the groove. Mike was able to stay with it for a little bit. 107 60 foot, 496 at a whopping 119 miles an hour. An aborted pass. It's getting to be way too many of those. So we're going to go back, look at the data, make some changes, and come back and hopefully make another test pass this evening to see if we can go A to B. So right back with you. There you saw it. That was a slight improvement. It did go left, but not near as left as it had been going. Did not go A to B. It was still an aborted pass, but that was possibly caused by dew on the track or our down track anomalies. So I'll have to look at the data and see that. 104 60 foot time, so that was pretty good. 482 at 134, so he was out of it right after he shifted into 4th gear. So we'll take that data, we'll do some analysis overnight, and we'll make some changes. Tomorrow we will show up and hopefully get another test pass in the morning before the event actually starts. There's some more other changes that Mike and I would like to make to see if we can get the car to go A to B in a more repeatable fashion. Tomorrow's event will be a little different than normal. Instead of doing qualifying and then racing on a ladder, they are pairing us up to kind of have parity. They are pairing us up with other like AT cars and trying to put on a show for the fans, obviously. They're pairing us up against Kevin Lawrence's Cutlass, and this will be kind of a redo of the 1994 Slick 50 Nationals, where Scott Jeffreyon was up against Warren Johnson, and they had a fairly lengthy staging battle, and got the crowd all in an uproar. It was pretty cool. You can see the video on the internet if you do a little bit of searching. So this is going to be a replay of that. Don't know how it's going to turn out. It depends on how Kevin's car is set up and if we can get our stuff squared away. So we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully to make a good test pass and make things better. So we'll see you then. Well, that was a little bit better as far as going straight down the track. It went right after the front end came down, so still got some work to do on the suspension, but at least it didn't try to go to the left lane like it had been. So made some improvements. As a 108 60 foot, ET was only a 583 at 86 miles an hour, so obviously it was aborted really short into the run. So we'll make some changes and we'll come back first round to race Kevin. Well, got to play a little bit of the staging battle there. We only did it for about 30 or 45 seconds. So it wasn't near as long as the Scott Jeffrey Warren Johnson staging battle of 1994. But it did get the fans excited. It was fun. Launch went back to the left a little bit, not uncontrollable. Shifting into third gear did yield a neutral, which was unexpected. So Mike did abort the pass. Fortunately, we did win that round. Kevin blew the tires off at the starting line, but we've got a problem. So we'll pull it back to the pits and we'll see what we're going to do for the next round. Well, post-analysis examination of the transmission, we found that when Mike pulled the car into third gear, it sheared the shifting lugs off of the shifting ring, the hub. So it's kind of odd. So did some looking, measuring, talked to Liberty, and it appears as though the previous owner of this transmission did some in-house repairs, and they milled the shifting dogs down to less than half of what they're supposed to be, to the fact that Liberty wouldn't even touch them to repair them. They said, no, we're not touching this. Don't blame them. So that's why they sheared off. There was not enough there to hold the torque that we were applying. So live and learn. So new gear, it did damage third gear. So new third gear, new shifting hub, and the transmission is like new. So we will head to our next track, which is going to be in Holiday Raceway in Alabama. And we will continue our testing and match racing. So hope to see you guys there. If you get a chance to come by, stop and visit at the pits. Always happy to entertain the crowd and to have people come by and say, hey, we know you guys. So come by and see us. Again, this is BNJ Racing. My name is Dale. See you at the next race.